The Big Buffers. Ari and Bert are troublesome diesel twins who works at the soda iron works. When they ain't doing odd jobs, they happily haul trucks full of scrap across the island to be melted down at the smelter's yard. With their title as the Scrap Diesels, they take pride in teasing Steamies every chance they get. Looking a little rusty there, Steamy. There's plenty of room for you on the scrap train. The Steamies try not to take them seriously, but there's one engine they love teasing more than anyone else. Stepney, the Bluebell engine. Stepney will remember the day he first met the twosome, and they nearly had him scrapped for good. Every time they see Stepney, Ari and Bert waste no time reminding him of that day and saying they'll get him next time. Oh well, get your next time, Stepney. You'll make very fine scrap indeed. Take no notice, Stepney. They have a really dead sense of humor. Stepney knew Rusty was right, but he wished that just once, Ari and Bert will get what's coming to them. One afternoon, Stepney was working with Toby and Mavis at the quarry. The three engines were hard at work and making good time when they were rudely interrupted by the two certain diesels. Pah, poor Mavis, forced to work with useless piles of tin kettle. Yeah, why waste your time with trash instead of proper engines like us? You're the only ones wasting your time being a nuisance. Aren't you two supposed to be working? We're looking for extend scrap for Diesel 10 at the smelters, but picking us are slammed today. We can only take Stepney off of your hands. He'll be more than enough to keep the boss happy. Yeah, and maybe Toby as a bonus too. Stepney and Toby were indignant. Even Mavis was cross. She didn't like seeing her friends getting bullied by oxygen diesels. Before anything could happen, a group of workmen digging nearby call out, Oi, look what we found! They unearthed a pile of big, rusty buffers with no engine to be found. Wowee! How long have those been there? No idea, but I know where they're going. Really? All that looking and all we got is some rotten old buffers. Diesel 10's not going to like this. It's better than nothing. Who buries a pile of old buffers anyway? Stepney spotted a chance to give the twosome a taste of their own medicine. You shouldn't mess around with buried engine parts. You might find some nasty surprise waiting for you. Mavis and Toby staggered quietly. Ari rolled his eyes, but Bert was a little unnerved. Ari, maybe we should just leave the buffers. Something doesn't seem right. Don't be deaf, Bert. It's just some lonely old buffers waiting for the smelters. And that was that. The workmen loaded the buffers into Ari and Bert's trucks, and the two diesels set off for the smelters. Once they were gone, Stepney and Toby chuckled loudly. All right, that's enough, you two. Back to work. As the sun started to set, Ari and Bert arrived back at the smelters, where Diesel 10 was waiting for them. Ah, a good old Barry. What you've got for me today? It's Ari and Bert, boss. And about that. Just like that, Bert predicted Diesel 10 was none too pleased with the twins' halt. That's it? Just a pair of rusty old buffers? Grrr. You two are more useless than Splodge. Grrr. Well, put it at the back of the shed. We'll smelt it tomorrow. I gotta go to the fitters for the night. With that, Diesel 10 flunted out of the smelters for the night. I got nasty creak in my claw that itches something flours. Wait, who's Splotch?
See, Harry, I told you it was a waste of time. Let's put the buffers back where we found them.
Quit talking nonsense, Bert. Those silly steamies are just trying to rattle, yeah? We'll smell to the buffers tomorrow, and that'll be that. And so, Harry and Bert shunted the trucks into the back of the shed and settled in for the night. A little later, Bert was awakened by something went off in the distance. It was a voice calling out to the two of them. Where are my buffers? Harry, wake up. There's something out there. Oh, slow it, Bert. It's just someone messing around. Oi! Oi! Keep it down there. We're trying to sleep. But that didn't help. The voice called out again, only now it was closer. Where are my buffers? Bert was petrified, and even Harry was getting a little nervous. It's gonna come for us, Harry. It wants the buffers. Let's just go back to sleep, Bert. When we wake up, it'll be a very long time. But soon they heard a strength puffing of an engine entering the yard, as the voice called out yet again. Where are my buffers? Then the puffing slowly moved through the yard over one set of points, past a line of trucks, over another set of points, until the voice and a chuffing were right outside the shed. Where are my buffers? Shaken with fear, Harry and Bert closed their eyes tightly, too afraid to open them. The chuffing slowly moved through the dark towards the cowering Diesels, until finally it stopped, murder edge from Harry. Where are my buffers? You took them. It was too much for Bert. His engine roared to life, and he raced out of the shed as fast as he could. He didn't look back. He forgot all about Harry and the buffers. All he cared about was getting out of here. Then there was trouble. A line of trucks were stuck on Bert's line. Bert tried to stop, but it was too late. He bashed into the trucks, came off the rails, and skidded straight into a pile of scrap metal. Luckily, no one was hurt. Harry, meanwhile, tried not to open his eyes, but when he finally did, nothing was there. Whatever had broken into the shed was gone, leaving Harry all alone in the shed, and Bert laying in a pile of scrap outside. Both twins were frightened out of their stack. The next morning, Emily arrived with the breakdown train to rescue Bert. Sir Topham had come too, and was most annoyed with the twins. Oh, botheration! As if harassing the other engines wasn't enough. Now this happens. Bert, once you're repaired, I want you and Harry to help in the quarry for the rest of the week. Maybe this way, you'll finally be able to show what proper engines you really are. The twins didn't argue. They were still too shaken to try. Luckily, Bert's repairs only took for a few days, but Harry stayed with him the whole time, too afraid to be left alone. After that, for the rest of the week, Harry and Bert worked extra hard at the quarry. They didn't boast or tease the other engines. They just stayed eerily silent for the rest of the week anyway. Stepney, Toby, and Mavis were pleasantly surprised. Well, this is new. I wonder what's got into them. Apparently, they were spooked by some spooky engine looking for those old buffers. Is that so? Well, nice work, you two. Looks like you finally whipped those two into shape. Us? But I was staying here that night, remember? And I needed to have my side plates refilled that night. Then who was at the smelters that night? To this day, nobody knows what really happened that night at the smelters. The mysterious engine was never seen again. And neither were the big, rusty buffers. As far as everyone knew, they just disappeared without a trace.